sophomore and got cut. The coaches went with a taller teammate instead, and here's where the story turns. Most kids would have walked away. Jordan didn't. He spent the next year dominating the junior varsity team, and the rejection became fuel. This isn't just a feel-good detail. It's the pattern that defines his entire career. Every slight, every doubt, every person who said he couldn't, he turned it into motivation. That drive carried him to the University of North Carolina, where, as a freshman, he hit the game-winning shot in the 1982 National Championship. From there, he was drafted 3rd overall by the Chicago Bulls in 1984 and won Rookie of the Year in his very first season. But the Bulls weren't champions yet. Not even close. The Detroit Pistons, the bad boys, beat Jordan's Bulls out of the playoffs 3 straight years. They doubled him, roughed him up, and told the world his style of play could never win a title. But wait! Here's where the story gets interesting. Instead of leaving, Jordan and the Bulls went to work. They built a team. And in 1991, they finally broke through. From 1991 to 1993, the Bulls won 3 straight championships, the first three-peat of the modern era. Jordan was Finals MVP all 3 times. He was, by every measure, on top of the world. And then, in October of 1993, at the absolute peak of his powers, he shocked everyone by walking away. The official reason was a loss of desire. But the context mattered. Jordan's father, James, had been tragically murdered just months earlier. Basketball was something they had shared. So Jordan retired from the NBA and, in one of the strangest chapters in sports history, signed a minor league baseball contract with the Chicago White Sox. It's worth flagging that Jordan was never a baseball star. He hit around .200 in the minor leagues. But the detour did something important. It gave him distance. And it gave the league a year to wonder what it had lost. Then, on March 18th, 1995, he ended the mystery with the 2 most famous words in basketball history, "I'm back." What followed was even more impressive than the first act. In 1996, the Bulls won 72 regular season games, a record that stood for 2 decades, and finished a second three-peat. This era gave us the flu game in 1997, where a visibly sick Jordan scored 38 points in the finals. And it ended with maybe the most iconic shot ever, his final basket as a Bull, a game winner over Utah in 1998 to clinch the 6th title. That shot is the perfect snapshot of who Jordan was. 6 finals appearances, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs. He never once needed a Game 7 in the finals. When the moment was biggest, he simply never lost. So, where does the Michael Jordan story stand right now? He's not just a retired athlete. He became the first billionaire athlete in history, largely on the back of the Air Jordan brand, a shoe line that still generates billions every single year. He's an NBA team owner, and the people who play the game today still measure themselves against his standard. Part of why his story keeps getting told, even decades later, is that it isn't really about basketball. It's about what happens when rejection meets obsession. The kid from Wilmington who got cut became proof that the people who are told no are sometimes the most dangerous people in the room. Michael Jordan's rise is one of those stories the internet never stops revisiting. And there's a lot more where this came from. If you want more deep dives on the biggest names in sports and entertainment, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments. Do you think anyone will ever truly pass Jordan as the GOAT? See you in the next video. Michael Jordan is widely called the greatest basketball player who ever lived. And his story doesn't begin with greatness. It begins with a rejection. So, what actually turned a kid who was cut from his high school?
Уже нет. Теперь это просто машина. Так что все это